Hey everyone, it's the Sith Justice Warriors back after another long hiatus with your hosts, Fan and Lumpia.
Hey, it's been a
It's been a
while.
while, yes. How have your summer been? You're in
It's
the
been great. I just got back from vacation, so I'm relaxed, but I'm also back at work, my day job. Um, so, and dealing with jet lag, but overall in a good place. It's nice. The sun is out longer. People are out. People can go outside. It's
for
warmer,
now.
so I can't
For now.
complain. But
For
yeah,
now.
what about you? Happy Father's Day, by the way. Happy belated
Yeah,
Father's Day.
yeah. It's been pretty busy with just you know kids and little bit of gaming that I get out of it, but same thing. That's pretty much why our podcast has been dormant for a while. But that being said, enough about us. Let's talk about what brought you to revive this podcast, which is
Well,
everyone's been big topic over the last week. Is this Xbox um, reaction to this show? And I guess Lumpia, why don't you give me your thoughts about it as you watch this during your vacation?
yeah,
Surprisingly.
so it came up during vacation and I rewatched it the other day because I wanted to refresh my memory on a lot of it. And the reason I texted you and said I want a podcast is because I actually fell in love with the game as I was kind of watching this whole thing. And to be honest with you, I will preface, I did not expect much from this showcase because the last showcase was like kind of like it was like tame. Like it was announcing a lot of big things, but it didn't feel like they were really coming to fruition anytime soon. And that was on the backing of the whole purchase, right? The whole acquisition. Um, so my I was kind of tempered in my expectations, which is fine because my whole world with the Xbox and my PC revolves around Destiny 2 anyway. So what else do I have to look forward to? However, the reason I texted you because I truly fell in love with one of the games, which I'll talk to you about and why. But we covered a lot of things during this showcase, and it was a long showcase. And I will say, I was happy to see some of those things were like day one Game Pass exclusive. There were some, in a nutshell, there were some, expansions and things like that. There were some that were PC specific. So I can start talking about that. But the game that I texted you about was actually Redfall because it actually reminded, like, I don't know what it reminded me of, but it was just something that I felt like, especially with the girl with the pink gun. She was walking around with a pink gun shooting, it looked like vampires. And that really, like, I don't know, I just really like enjoyed the gameplay and just I don't know, that what were they in Massachusetts? So that was a game I really like said to you I want to play because you could actually play as a squad, right? You could play solo or you could squad up. And in those kind of games, it's always fun to squad up. So that was one of the standouts for me. Um, there were a couple other ones that was like there was one that reminded me of one of those oh my god, it was Naraka Blade Point, I think, where like you like could you were like a samurai or something. That one was interesting. It really reminded me of one of those old type of games that they used to be on like Sega, just like blades and like stuff like that. There was also the 40th anniversary, right, of the flight simulator, which they do really truly use to train people how to fly. The Rick and Morty game, the Rick and Morty co-creator, that game was quite interesting. I'm not the biggest Rick and Morty fan, so it doesn't really appeal to me, but it was a just an interesting game. There were a few games that were like movie-like that I thought was interesting about the family. I think they were going on a road trip, and then there was another one like as Dusk Falls. Like it was like a weird sort of like
Yeah, that
it
that
looks like a
was yeah.
TV show. Like yeah, so that was interesting. The Forza Hot Wheels downloadable thing was interesting, but I think that's only for series. It's only for the Series X, right?
No,
Like,
it's for. I thought it's for wherever Forza 5 was.
oh, okay, because I thought it
Um,
wasn't for the S. I thought it was only for the X, which I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. And then there was another game that was called oh man, what the heck was it? But there was like Fallout, which I tried to play Fallout before, but I couldn't get behind it. There was like the Halo thing. Didn't they add like a ship to Halo or something?
they did. I mean, I was surprised Halo didn't show up at all,
Yeah.
given that it was already having some bad rep with the Halo community.
Yeah.
But you know, if yeah, I mean, I'm holding my tongue a bit, but I guess were there any like things that were so eye popping to you in terms of like games outside of Redfall? Because I
Mhm.
mean, I'm curious, was there a game that actually said to you, "I will cut my destiny time"?
Well, did you see that the Persona JRPG was coming to Xbox Game Pass?
Yes, I'm gonna hold my
You're gonna
overall
hold your
thoughts
thoughts on that?
because
Okay.
I don't know if
Uh,
that's gonna surprise you, but I have
Starfield still looks good to me, but I still don't understand it all. Elder Scrolls again. Arc 2 was interesting because all I
Vin
know is I
Diesel.
saw Vin Diesel's face and I was like,
Yeah,
"What the
it's Vin
crap? I
Diesel.
forgot
It is Vin
about
Diesel, yeah.
I totally forgot about Vin Diesel being in that game." Um, I'm trying to think. Overwatch 2, I tried to play Overwatch, but I suck at Overwatch. So I'm just gonna be really honest.
It's
It's
free to
not gonna,
play. You're not gonna,
yeah,
it's not,
it's not
yeah.
something I'm gonna be running to get. Remind me, let me see what else was there. Diablo 4 looked good. It actually made me want to play. Not that I want to be a necromancer class, but now I was like, I know I have Diablo, but I have yet to play
I mean,
Diablo.
did you see the customization part of it?
Yeah, I
I was gonna
did.
ask you, are you actually gonna take time to customize it?
I kind of want to
I'm
because
just curious
that's
because
what I live for. I
I was just
honestly
curious
live.
because you have Diablo 3 and 2, and I was just curious. We haven't gone around to playing it. I've already got a. Surprisingly, I went the rogue. I guess is what the class was called. The one with the bow and arrow, not the sorcerer.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm surprised because you
I'm
would totally
surprised.
be sorcerer all the time. But now I want to play Diablo actually. But then I'm like, does it carry over into each of the next ones?
No, 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 no. That's what I'm saying. Is like
Start over.
you might. I don't. I guess like because Diablo 3 was going on since past like it was done because it was they were doing like seasons and stuff like that. But you know now I think they're obviously going to start focusing on Diablo 4. And did you? They
Mm,
have like raids and stuff like that. I was like, wow, they want to. They're really. I'm surprised that to this day companies are doing the let's compete with Destiny, World of Warcraft, the ones that have already established. You know what I mean?
yeah,
People's time and
yeah.
commitment. Like Final Fantasy 14. Let's take them on. And I'm like, these people have like people like us have committed hours of like hundreds of
No, yeah,
hours.
exactly. It's kind
Yeah.
of like how I felt about Mass Effect and like Dragon Age and why I feel like cheated because I spent a lot of time on my character in Dragon Age just
Yeah,
to have it.
I can't get into Dragon Age 2, 3. I
Yeah,
couldn't get
I
in,
mean, I
and I
did
don't know if I
too.
could get into 4. I can't.
I did too, but man, I don't know. Like, I agree with you. So anyway, I digress. I'm probably missing some games, but those were the ones that came to the top of my mind at this point. But
Yeah.
I wanted to play Redfall because that looked like a game that would be a lot of fun since you could squad up. I like games where we can actually play together and stay connected. If anything, COVID's taught us it's we can still stay connected virtually
Mm.
via video
So,
games.
what
So,
did you think of the thing? Because you watched it twice. So, what did you think? If you gave it out of 10, what would you give it?
probably like a 7.5 or an 8 because I felt like I don't know, maybe for me, the announcers didn't seem very excited about the games. I don't know. Did you get that? Like, but they were like moving on to the next person and the next person. I just felt like they weren't like, do you remember the very first one that came out during COVID?
Oh,
I felt like,
they really went all in on that because they were trying to sell you a Series X.
yeah, they were not trying to sell me a Series X this time around, so I guess that's why I felt like it was better than last year, but
Really?
I thought it was a little bit better than last year. What was the big announcement last year?
I mean
Starfield.
that they announced Star. They actually showed something of Starfield, and they gave you a date that they didn't commit to,
Yeah,
which was
exactly.
November of this year. They flubbed that. They
Yeah.
gave you. I thought they gave you Halo Infinite. I could be wrong.
But then wasn't that where they had the people were making fun of what it looked like?
Craig, or that might have actually been 2 years ago. But then
Or
that
the two
means,
years ago one? Okay.
and then they gave you Avowed, which was the Skyrim like game from Obsidian.
Mhm.
Oh, don't get me started. I have a really hot take that I will regret in the future. But right now I have a hot take about Obsidian. um, and then there was the other game. Like they threw a bunch. Oh, Perfect Dark, and then Fable.
Yeah, where's Perfect Dark and where's Fable now? That's where
I
I'm
mean,
like,
that's like, oh, and Hellblade, right? So that's like those games are going to be like 2024. So, like, so can I jump into my thoughts?
yeah, go with your thoughts, because like,
Okay,
yeah.
because I wish they. A lot of people said it probably would have been better, but I think what they did wrong was telling us all that it was only going to focus on the games that are launching in 12 months at the show. So I
Yeah.
watched it live. And so I actually too didn't have any expectations because they actually did a really good job of not leaking anything. Like Xboxes and like, shows in the past, like it was like a leaky ship, like you know what I
Mhm.
mean, like a Jack Sparrow leaking ship.
Yeah.
Um, and so like okay, let's see what they got. And when they had that, when Sarah Bond said 12 months, I was like, oh god, this is going to be the most boring as hell thing. Because like the only thing you knew, right, was Starfield and Redfall. So I was just
Mhm.
like, okay, in my mind, and I'm jumping around a bit. Starfield, if Starfield was the most important game for you, I think Starfield for the most part delivered. People have their quirks about gunplay or nitpicky this that, whatever. I think if Starfield was the most important game to you, I think it gave you that.
Mhm.
But when they said 12 months, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be not as exciting as I thought it would be. So then after they did Redfall and they did like a couple other games, about 15 to 30 minutes in, I started watching I was looking at my watch every 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, that means there's gonna be at least more opportunities to make this a better show. Okay, I think this is. I'm like, oh damn, and it was like probably what 50 minutes in to the 95-minute show was when I finally woke me up, and that was the Persona thing. And I slammed my fist in the table. I was like, yes, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
So like, and then I realized, holy shit, I only got excited for a bunch of games that have been out for years, if not almost half a decade.
That's a really good point.
So, like for example, I think so. I said Starfield. If that's important to you, I actually think it delivered. The other thing I noticed was they snuck in the Blizzard Activision, with the exception of Call of Duty. Like
Mhm.
if Diablo 4 is your big game, because this is for different people. Like I guess it's because
Yeah.
it's so broad. Diablo 4 then should have been enough to got you excited for Diablo 4.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw the Riot game, notice the Riot game thing.
Yes.
That's big for the PC community.
Yes, it is because it's only PC, right? It's a
Well,
PC
they're
exclusive.
big. Like League of Legends is huge. Uh,
Mhm.
all those like Runeterra and League of Legends Wild Rift, those are mobile. Those are big.
Mhm.
Valorant, remember we were looking at that.
Mhm.
all agents unlocked, all champions unlocked. That's like hundreds of thousands of, well, I don't know if that thousands, but hundreds of dollars for you to get
Yeah, for
these,
them.
and
Yeah.
it's free as part of Game Pass.
Yeah.
So if you're a PC player, it's pretty good. I mean, they did Forza Motorsport, which obviously did Forza Motorsport. It always delivers. Like, there's like this, and then it's all the communities. Like, I like Sea of Thieves. Do we need it? Do we need Elder Scrolls Online? Do we need Fallout 76? Not really, but they
But you're
took
right.
time with
They're all
that.
games that exist right now. There's nothing new with the exception of, well, I will call Starfield new because it's new to me because I never played it to begin
Well,
with.
yeah, that was the thing that they were thinking was carrying the show. And
But
if that was the most important game for you,
but
then I
it
think it's
wasn't
fine.
but it wasn't long enough then. The lead up to Starfield wasn't that long.
Yeah, and then
Like
oh my god, so this Pentiment game. Here's my hot take, and I'm gonna regret it. They bought Obsidian Entertainment, and
yep,
Obsidian was known for their RPGs and all that stuff.
yeah.
Now I know there's a really big community with Grounded,
Oh
but
God, here we go. I knew
I
you were gonna
mean,
say something about
Obsidian,
Grounded.
it's like you getting the free agent, and like in you nab this hot free agent for your team, and they just like hit singles, maybe doubles. But the Pentiment thing was like, I guess it's because I don't know if people hyped it, but it was just like I think everyone was thirsty on the Xbox side for like an exclusive. And so
Yeah.
like the idea of Pentiment sounded really neat, like the name. They thought, like, you know what I mean? Like this game's like, oh, what is it? What is it? And honestly, I mean, if you like that type of game, I think it's fine. But I was just
Hmm.
like, dude, this is what you got Obsidian now. I know they have Avowed, but man, it's just like it's gonna be 3 years away.
No, that's why I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, right.
three
You know what?
years away.
You know what I think that they missed out on, like the rumor mill and everything, but like this would have been perfect time to talk about that little thing that they've been developing. That like you plug it in, like the little stick.
Oh, they didn't want to. They wanted to focus on games, and I actually respect that.
With
Um,
the
but
hardware.
it's tough because I mean, I'll tell you what, like God when they announced the date of God of War with all the details, that Sony just the Sony 15 minutes of God of War is probably going to destroy this. And you
Hmm.
know, our main ecosystem is an Xbox, right? And I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie, unless for some reason they delay God of War into next year. I mean, and another thing too, and I'll jump into Persona because that was the only highlight
For
for
you.
me, which is what I'm trying to get annoyed about the fact that the only thing that made me excited was just games that have been there like for a
Yeah.
while. But like, what was I saying about like? It's just I don't know. Sorry, I went on a tangent. What was I? I said something
No,
before
we were talking about
Persona.
Persona because you were going to talk about why you
Oh,
got
Persona.
paid.
Yeah, so I was happy. For Persona, I was happy because finally, like other people can enjoy this. If you have not played it because you do not have a PlayStation, which I'm pretty sure people who want to play this game have played it, whether through whatever means, right?
Hmm.
I'm happy because this is a really awesome series. I don't know why it's Persona 3 Portable. It should have been Persona 3 Fez, but whatever. I'm happy. But I don't know if Persona 6 is going to come to Xbox. The other miss to this is not, I don't know if it's more of an Xbox miss, but Sony being a marketing genius, they did not get Final Fantasy VII Remake to this day. They
Yeah.
got so that was a separate, right? The separate announcement was in Squaresoft they talked about they remade Crisis Core to look like Final Fantasy VII Remake. They announced part 2 of 3 for Final Fantasy VII Remake's trilogy and no Xbox. So it's interesting because like they announced it for Steam, which I actually bought. um and I'm just like again, when you look at they had this like roadmap of the next 12 months. And all the games that excited me were games that are multi-plat or games that were already established. Like the Resident Evil 4 remake was interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why they needed to do it, but they did, and I'm like,
But I'd still
okay,
play it. See,
oh, I'm gonna buy it.
that's the thing. That's the sad part. It's like one of those games where I would still go and get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the,
it's a question to me. Like it's kind of like what we talk about with like Marvel and all these TV shows and
but we
movies,
won't go
right?
into that tangent 'cause we're
Oh
talking
no,
about
no, we could because we had to do 5 minutes to my favorite series that you
oh
need to
boy,
subjugate
boy,
me
oh
to.
boy. Okay.
Um, I just have to say, like, I wonder if we are just bankrupt of creative ideas
We
because the
must
only things that
be.
excited me was like Persona, and to give a grade, I was about to give it a 5, but I gave it a 6 just because Persona carried it.
Oh
But
gosh.
I for like 45 minutes of it, I literally was watching my watch. There was like a bunch of
Well, to
like,
be honest, I started fast forwarding through the games like Pentiment and like
oh
the games
god,
like that. That to your point, it would not really interest me. I wanted to see something different. But you're right. It's a specific market, isn't it, that they're trying to cover in this hour and a half. And I don't know. I just felt like they should have led with something grandiose or something like that. And I think the first game that they opened up with was not Starfield, was it? I can't
no,
remember.
I
It was
mean,
Redfall, but then it went into this tangent of like all these random games, like I'm like, and then they did cover Forza. I found myself fast forwarding because I was like, oh, that's not
I
a big
mean,
deal.
they were really big things, but they really felt more like for a PC crowd. Like Riot Games is huge.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that the ability to have not pay for all the champions and all the agents and all the season passes or whatever the heck. And I've never played any of this. But like League of Legends is huge. There's like a
It is
esport
really
community
huge.
on that,
It
right?
is. Is it going to be
That
crossplay?
no,
No,
it's
I
just
think so.
PC. It's just
Okay, just
PC. And like how what else was also Overwatch is big. That's a huge
Overwatch is
community.
huge. Yes, that
And
is a big
then
thing.
I'm just looking through like these are for communities. And then you went through Fallout 76, Elder
Again,
Scrolls.
another
Like you
thing,
went through all these
Diablo.
grounded. You went through grounded. Um
Diablo is a community. Yeah, Grounded, your favorite.
Sea of Thieves. It's just all these
Minecraft. Let's not
communities.
forget about Minecraft because
Oh yeah, that's a good
we
point.
forgot about Minecraft. I mean,
That's huge.
that's for
After
Xbox and PC. That's huge for them because that's their like baby. That
yeah.
thing, yeah.
So let me wrap it up. For me, it was a 6, but I think format, if you do it next year with the same like speed, just give me things more interesting for me. But
Yeah.
that's because I'm selfish and I care
I
about
just
myself.
wanted like
But
I don't know, I just wanted it to be like the pomp and circumstance of 2 years ago. And even though the everyone made fun of the Halo screenshots or whatever, like it still felt like a true like it felt like it felt good. Like it felt like they spent a lot of thought in it and they spent the money and they really wanted to sell you an Xbox and the lifestyle of Game Pass. And now they're like, well, I sold it to you, so this is what this is like. That's what
no,
I felt like. It was like, well, 2 years ago I sold you on this lifestyle. And I'm not gonna try to do that again. Like and wine and dine you. And I'm like, oh, I want to be wine and dine.
well,
So
I this is way they took you to the fancy wine and dine
yeah,
steakhouse.
yeah.
Now to get you back, they just gave you a buffet and it's like, I think you'll like one of these things.
Exactly. I like how you said that because it's exactly how I felt. Like if I had to, that's why I didn't think it was the worst, but I thought it could have been better. But I almost felt like, man, it's like, man, we've been going out for like 3 years, and this is how you want to spend our anniversary at the buffet.
Yeah, it's like you got the steakhouse on your first year anniversary, and now you get the buffet, you got the McDonald's.
Yeah, it's like no, next year will be McDonald's unless they do something about it. But
Well, I
yeah,
mean, there definitely are things I'm gonna play. Like, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna buy Persona. The minute it's on Steam for pre-order at Xbox, I'm a dumbass and I will buy it because I love that
well, we
series.
buy it on every single. I mean, I still haven't gotten my Steam Deck, but which
Oh
we
God,
could eventually talk about one of
by
these
the way,
days.
Final Fantasy VII remake is compatible on Steam Deck. So whatever the hell I get it, I could play Final
Oh,
Fantasy VII Remake with all the mods.
well, there you go.
The mods.
There you
Anyway,
go.
whenever we get that damn Steam Deck. But I
I
mean,
know.
uh, I mean,
Uh,
it's got to. It can only get better. I hope. But
yeah,
like I
just
said,
don't give
I
me a buffet next time.
don't
Just
give me
give
the.
me,
If you're gonna
yeah,
go to a buffet, at least give me 2 to 3 stations that I like.
yeah,
Right. But that's
exactly.
me. Somebody else, if somebody else says it's an 8, like you gave it a 7.5, 8. I respect it. If somebody gave it a 3, I respect it. That's
Yeah, same
I
here.
can't defend. This is one of those like things where I can't. I don't even feel like countering. I'm like, yeah, you have a right of opinion of what you feel because I literally spent like 45 minutes looking at my watch and I'm
Well,
like,
I spent time clicking to fast forward, so I'll be honest. When I
yeah,
was a game that I was just like, you might as well, like not have done it live.
yeah. I mean, I was like, you know what I was like? I was like, could you guys
Speed
give
it
me
up.
Destiny? Like if they did Destiny now, Sony
Uh,
probably can do Destiny now. They
See,
have to
Sony
announce it.
will.
Yeah.
Sony will, and I'll be crying because it
Well,
probably
now,
won't
yeah,
be.
actually, it's a good point. I will have to watch the Sony ones with more like wait with holding my breath because
Yeah,
now they own Sony. I
you're
mean,
going to be holding your breath because it's going to
for
be a
Bungie.
Destiny announcement that you're going to just have a Bungie Destiny announcement that you're just going to have to watch because we're coming to the end there.
Yeah.
We're coming to the
We're
end.
coming to the end of this Light versus Dark saga.
I know. That's why I'm just kind of like, I don't want to think
Any-
about it. But yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna
yeah,
sneak this in. We're gonna sneak this in.
yeah, we have 3 minutes left.
We
Less
have to
than.
sneak this in. All right. Speaking of Destiny, one of our favorite authors, Paul Tassi. I do like his Destiny YouTube videos. I love his dog.
Yes.
His dog's just there, like doing what corgis do.
I want to have a dog meet with him. Because I have a corgi.
Yeah. So Paul Tassi wrote an article why Miss Marvel viewership is reportedly much lower than other MCU series, and we have to subjugate me to torture. I need to watch this series. Um, I'm shocked that apparently this show is one of the lower ranked MCUs. It's probably too early,
You're
but
shocked.
I'm
You're
shocked. I'm shocked because she is supposed to be on equal par to Spider-Man. Did you not know that?
What?
Yes.
Stop. But you're talking
No,
about Peter Parker.
that we have replaced in the comic books Peter Parker with Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
not going to get into his article, but I guess we have to watch this. We have to watch this.
Now you're saying we have to watch it.
I'm gonna watch this. Is my homework next week. All right, I'm gonna watch this.
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
even watched Moon Knight, so I mean, come on.
dude. Like the only Marvel show we watched was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I know. Which
Um, yeah, which
says a lot.
uh, God, and I'm just saying, like, of all the things, I find it very funny that now I think the problem with Miss Marvel is you're in the fatigue phase.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not fair. There's one thing I have to give it. It's not fair because I can't give it the full grade just because I don't know if it's the fatigue. But
Yeah.
our man Paul Tassi writes only 775,000 households watch Miss Marvel in the first 5 days, in comparison to 1.6 of WandaVision, 1.8 of Falcon Winter Soldier, 2.5 of Loki, Hawkeye 1.5, Moon Knight 1.8. And I actually just don't know if that's like the first 5 days or like overall.
Ah,
I'm assuming it's comparing the first 5 days of the first 5 days.
it should be, but yeah.
We got to watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it just for the sake of it. But here's my thing. The thing I'll insert in here. And they didn't do a good job of introducing her. Well, granted, in all fairness, they didn't introduce Moon Knight, but for some strange reason, if she is supposed to be as souped up in terms of her power as Spider-Man, then they should have at least given her screen time like they did with America Chavez. They at
Yeah.
least gave America Chavez the right introduction at the right place. So why I'm not shocked because no one knows her unless you read the comic books. But remember, I don't know. are we even selling comic books anymore? So
Uh, See, if you use, depends on the metric you use, because the only metric you can use is the
what they
shipment,
ship,
right? What they ship
yeah,
to the comic book. You
yeah,
just don't know what the comic book sold. The store,
exactly,
the comic book store sold.
yeah.
But that being said, look at you. You back this lady as your icon. What is this Isaac Bell creation over here?
Oh my God. Oh my God, the Kickstarter that I backed.
This is a
I'm
metal
drawing a
shade,
blank. Metal
metal.
Shade, Alexa Lowe, and Isaac Bell, my faves. So
Yes,
yeah.
and I have just I have just kickstarted backed what's its face, the Black White Widow.
Oh, nice. It's back. Is it back finally?
It's on, yeah, it's on 7, and I just don't know if I just don't know if I like where I'm at in the whole thing.
I
So
don't even know if I ever got all the other White Widows,
yeah,
but I know you have the medal.
yeah, I usually get the White Widow, and then I know the Merc magazine one's been going, and I haven't been doing a good job with that, but
Yeah.
maybe we should do a little review once we've actually caught up with stuff, because like I mean, Brian Polito's comics sell on,
They
like,
do.
they
They probably
do.
sell more than more than I hate to say it, Miss Marvel, but
Oh
anyway.
yeah, I'm sure they wish they could get those numbers, because they reboot it all the time.
Yeah,
So because every number one sells, because you buy it thinking with the variant that it's going to accumulate value, right? But it's not.
exactly. But it's not.
Um, but anyway, I digress. We need to I will commit to do my homework on Miss Marvel, and then
All
we
right,
can
me
come back
too.
within
And
two
then we
weeks.
will, yes, we will come back in 2 weeks. Talk.
That was the end of our diatribe, our tangent. So hope you guys liked our catch up, and if you like what you hear, please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications whenever we decide to get our schedules right. All
Exactly.
right. Well, till then, see you on the Sith side.
Bye.